Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. Today we are unboxing the Revell 1965 Ford Mustang 2+2 Fastback in 1/24th scale. Now this, I'm pretty sure, is a reboxing of a monogram kit released, I would think, in the 1980s or 90s. Possibly earlier, but it was definitely around in the 80s and 90s as far as I remember. And also was available as a Shelby GT350 version as well. I'm pretty sure this is a reboxing of that kit or very similar to, but we'll get looking and find out in a moment. So let's have a look at the box first of all. It's the Revell Europe end flap style box, which isn't my favourite design really. I prefer being able to lift the lid off. I find it easier when I'm getting parts in and out of the box, for example, during the build. We have an illustration there of a real 65 Mustang Fastback, which looks quite nice. You can see they've gone for a kind of a San Francisco theme. I assume that's supposed to be with the ocean in the background there and this streetcar here, this tram. I suppose to put people in the mind of the film Bullitt, although this isn't quite the same Mustang that was used in the film Bullitt, but anyway, still nice. And we have here, look, Ford official licensed product, and there's a QR code I can scan to win. I have to remember to do that later. End of the box, same story really. On this side of the box we have some photographs of the built model, which I always like to see on a model kit box. Really helpful. Gives you a sense when you're looking at it of what you're going to finish up with, how it's going to look. Can also be a useful reference when you're building as well. End of the box there, nothing special going on. And then on the back of the box we have some also available type images there from Revell. Okay, great. So let's see what we actually get in that case. So that seems to be everything. Instructions we'll look at in a moment. Okay, let's look at some plastic in that case. So we have one large poly bag with all the plastic frames in, it seems. And just taking these out, individually polybag frames inside, or at least some individually polybag frames inside. So what do we get? Glazing to start off with. I'm not going to take this out. I like to leave it bagged up just to preserve it. There's nothing very complicated to talk about in here really. There is the large rear screen, a curved piece, wraparound piece for the front windshield. I think that will also incorporate the quarter lights. And we've got headlamp lenses there for the headlights. That's everything I can see going on there in terms of clear pieces. Onto the chrome in that case. A little bit more to see here. With this being a 60s American car, we've got some chrome to look at. Okay, what have we got? So, very nice set of wheels. I think they would respond well to some detailed painting to match the look of the wheels that we see there on the box art illustration. Looking quite nice detail. What else we've got? We've got the chrome grille piece, which incorporates the running horse, the pony Mustang emblem in there as well. Chrome sump, oil pan. We've got the instrument package there as well, the instrument binnacle, which I think I've got upside down just there. Again, a bit of detailed painting would bring that out, but it does mean that you will be able to fairly easily get chrome bezels on the instruments and things like that, which is very nice. Bumpers, so yeah, rear bumper here, front bumper there. They're nicely done. A little bit of a moulding mark on the edges there of the front bumper, but nothing to get into a twist about. Moulded so that the gates are on the undersides of the bumpers, so you can just remove those from the frame and put them straight on the model if you want to without re-chroming or anything. Rear lamp pieces here, here and here, which are quite simple. I didn't see any clear pieces to go in there, so I think the actual lamp parts will need to be tinted red. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, hopefully. What else do we have? I think those are the front parking lamps, and then we've got the carburetor alternator there. Some discs there. Do they go behind the headlamp glasses, perhaps? Not sure. We'll find out. We will find out. Okay, what's next in terms of plastic? We have Pretty standard stuff here, to be honest, by the looks of it. So wheel backs, some engine pieces, heads, fan belts, inlet manifold, radiator, I think probably a strut brace there for under the hood, the front bulkhead and radiator mount. Looks like the suspension and steering is one piece there. Engine and transmission halves, fine, and a pretty straightforward looking one-piece rear axle, which combines the leaf springs and prop shaft as well. All quite straightforward stuff, and there's nothing wrong with straightforward stuff in my opinion. What have we got here? We've got the hood. A pet peeve of mine when it's moulded on like this, I like to be able to keep a hood on the frame and spray it if I can. When it's done like this I can't because I risk damaging the paint there, but it's not a big problem really. Just remove it before painting essentially. Steering wheel, quite nice, a 3-spoke sport style steering wheel. I think that's a rear seat back, and I think we've got the air cleaner there for the engine. Moving on, there's not much else to go actually. So we've got one-piece interior tub, which has some pretty low relief details there on the sides, just an impression of the kind of vinyl and door detail there. Relatively simple really. Base of the rear seat moulded in there. No doubt that seat back we saw slots in above here. We have front bucket seats, which look quite nice. Bearing in mind again, the Mustang was a sporty car, designed to be a sporty car, so bucket seats, even though it's 1965. We've got the dashboard there. You can see the sort of symmetrical looking dashboard. And then I think the sort of front and rear valance or gravel pan components there as well. We then have the base plate or chassis, which incorporates this front subframe, which I guess will support the engine and front suspension and steering. Fuel tank moulded in there. Engine exhausts, headers or manifolds there. Okay. And then we have one more bag to open, which contains the body shell. Nice crisp looking one-piece body shell. Looks very nice. I like the shape of it. I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty accurate. And at first glance of this, I'm not really seeing a lot of flash. Given in mind what I said about the age of this kit, I think it's 30 or 40 years old, and I think not really seeing much flash there. Just the occasional tiny bit perhaps, but really nothing to worry about. I'm not seeing any ejector pin marks or sink marks. Not even any real swirls in the plastic, maybe a little bit, but that's looking really nice. I'm pleased with that. And then finally, in terms of parts, we have 4 vinyl tyres, which, if I can get it in the light there, have a nice looking tread pattern on them. Not detecting any sidewall detail there, which is a bit of a shame, but I think they will still look pretty good on the model. Okay, let's have a look at the instructions then in that case. So, and have a tidy up at the same time, that's better. So we have the instruction manual here, bit of bump about the real car on the front here together with a photograph of the bought model. Safety notice there. The usual safety and paint guide stuff here. And then we get into the parts diagram, very useful to have those. And then we're into construction, which goes pretty much as you'd expect an American car kit to go. Engine halves go together, heads, front of engine, water pump, etc. go on. Front suspension and exhausts go onto the base plate, along with that rear suspension and drive assembly that we saw. Relatively simple dashboard assembly. Looks like we've got some decals to go on the dashboard. That's nice. We'll have to have a look at those in a moment. Haven't seen any decals yet, so I hope they're included in the kit. Okay, and then we have the interior assembly, relatively straightforward, just 2-piece seats that go together and fix in. Separate armrests to go on the inside of the doors, which is going to improve those rather flat-looking interior sides that we saw earlier on. Good. Wheels go together. The 2 glazing pieces go in. On the Mustang, these rear window thingies aren't actually windows. As you can see, they've got these kind of air vent grills that fit in place there. Those two big assemblies go together, the base plate goes on, wheels go on, and then you're installing the radiator and front bulkhead, and then it's really trim and final assembly after that, and you are done. So we've got options here with a big question mark on the hood. Not too sure what those options are. I need to look more at that. Options in terms of the decals for the wheel centers by the looks of it as well. I haven't seen any decals though. That's the problem. Am I missing decals? Have they gone astray somewhere? They have gone astray somewhere. They were hidden in the safety guidance that I so quickly discarded without looking at. So decal sheet, quite nice actually. We've got the instrument binnacle. So rather than detail painting that, as I said, you can use this decal, which I think will turn out well. I think we've got the individual gauges there as well for speedometer and tachometer, or possibly not actually. I think the speedometer's there, isn't it? Not sure what those are. We've got some engine bay decals by the looks of it. I really am a big fan of those, replicating the labels that genuine car parts tend to have on them. I love that. Got some Mustang with pony decals there as well. Oh, okay, we've got FORD. I think that would be the option that was shown in the instructions for the front of the hood. Interestingly, we've got some white walls which could go on those tyres. Can't imagine a Mustang like this having white wall tyres, but maybe I should look and see. And then we've got some stripes here, some strips, which I think are intended to go along the bottom of the body sides under the doors, I think. But they're different lengths, so I'm not sure why that is. I need to look more into that. And then in terms of license plates, what have we got here? We've got some vanity plates that look as if they might have might have been on the car when it was a new car in the dealership, just saying Mustang. Texas 1965, Mustang Fastback again, kind of a vanity plate. And then we've got what look like genuine California license plates there as well. Pretty nice. Okay, all in all, quite happy with that. It's relatively simple, but none the worse for it. And I think will build up to look rather nice with a little bit of care. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.